This is the Mind of the Meanie. Here are your hosts, the Blue Meanie and Adam Barnard.
Peace, world, and welcome everybody to the Mind of the Meanie, your weekly peek into the world, according to former WWE superstar and ECW original, the Blue Meanie. We cover wrestling, music, movies, sports, and lots of useless knowledge, all contained in the Mind of the Meanie. I'm your tour guide, Adam Barnard, and he is the Blue Meanie. Meanie, what's on your mind?
You know, I had like a whole thing I was going to talk about, and then before we came on, I went and pooped, and I just totally forgot what I was going to say.
Did you poop it out? Did you poop the thought out?
I saved the good thoughts for the. I lost the good thoughts in the shitter. So now I'm just like scrambling to. What am I going to talk about?
I hate when that happens, man.
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. Doing good. I'm trying. When was the last time we talked?
Sunday last week.
Yeah,
or this week rather.
yeah.
Yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, you had your SummerSlam moment, and then we did a late night scramble podcast to make sure we didn't miss a Monday. We've been pretty good with not missing a week.
Yep.
And it's sometimes it's tough. You know, I see some other podcasts where like something came up. We're recording this day instead. I'm like, oh, okay. And but yeah, the hustle is there. But I'm glad we're here. It's a beautiful Saturday morning, 10:49 on August 12th.
Yeah.
Me and Mrs. Meanie had a nice little day trip up to Long Island yesterday for KNS for a virtual signing, which everything was really cool except for the traffic because New York traffic sucks.
Now, did you take you don't take the George Washington up did you take that
Oh,
bridge?
no.
No? Which way did you go?
We do the outer bridge crossing to the Belt Parkway to the whatever gimmick, whatever GPS tells me to fucking drive. And yeah, it was like beautiful little town over from where the Amityville Horror House is, which whatchamacallit, we last time I did a virtual sign for KNS, we stopped by and looked at it. They changed it up a little bit. They put up a iron fence, to keep the looky-loos out. But yeah, and shout out to Vanessa, Pod Squad member Vanessa Bello, and Machete Von Kill, who joined me for the virtual signing. We got to talk about the podcast a little bit at the virtual. And so Ken over there at KNS is a good dude, does great stuff. And just looking around his shop where he does his virtual signings, like there's all this cool merch. Is like, dude, hopefully I don't blow all my income here. There's just so much cool just signed merchandise just sitting around. I'm like, oh man,
amazing.
Yeah, I'm still a geek, still a fan, looking around. But no, it was a good day. Yeah, the only thing, the traffic sucked. Like, I have no problem driving long distances, but when I'm sitting there and we're in traffic and doing nothing, that's when I get this, like, anxiety. It's like, I think I sent you a meme, like, a week ago or something like that, where it says, somebody from Philly, the moment the light changes, somebody hasn't, and the guy's going, fucking go! Oh, dude, I've like the Blue Meanie greatest hits for when the light turns green, the guy hasn't even attempted to move. Is like, fucking go.
Yep.
It doesn't get any greener. And what the fuck are you waiting for? An invitation? Just these are things I yell when somebody hasn't started fucking moving out of my fucking way.
My favorite.
I'm sure I'm guilty of it too. But I mean,
I'm sure everybody is. Yeah, my favorite thing my dad used to say all the time, which I didn't realize I was doing it until I was maybe in my late 20s, early 30s. So when someone cuts into the lane and doesn't use a turn signal, my dad's catchphrase was always, well, come on, asshole, come on over. You're already in the lane. And I said it one time. I was driving with my dad, and he did it in the car, and we said it almost simultaneously, like word for word. And I was like, "Oh fuck! I didn't really came from."
And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoons.
I was like, "Oh my god! I can't believe I've turned into my father." But no, that's
my boy was just like me.
I didn't realize we were getting a Harry Chapin concert this morning. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. No, I have specific things. I think it's usually like, "Come on, asshole." Usually everybody's an asshole in the car.
Yeah.
But I specifically reserve "you motherfucker" for when, like, you get those idiots that pull like way too close in front of your bumper. And that's usually like, I can see it in your face, like the anger. It's like, just, I'm going to find you, and I'm going to scream at you loudly.
Or you get stuck behind that asshole in traffic, and you're doing like a 40 and a fucking 75, and you just want to get next to them and look at them and see what the fuck they look like. Who made you?
Who looked you? Who made you drive like this?
And the words of George Carlin, he's like, you just want to get next to the motherfucker, see what he looks like, and they look exactly how you thought, constipated. Yeah. George Carlin's fucking bit when driving is fucking spot on.
Dude, I'm looking forward to everybody starting to show up here, like during WrestleMania weekend, or WrestleMania week rather, and getting an idea of what it's like to drive in Philadelphia. Because we're going to hear from wrestling goes, "Oh, Philly sucks." Like, no, you just don't know how to fucking drive. Like, be defensive driving. Even in Detroit, like watching people like just cut in front of you, and like, it's such a weird experience, like when you're in a different city and someone's driving you and you're like, fuck, if that were me, I would have fucking sped up and gone around, like done the whole Philly routine. But
you would have done the John Madden with the illustrator. See, what I would have done here is boom. And then you make the left and you give the guy the finger and boom, boom, boom.
That's exactly what you pull out the fucking graphs and charts. Well, see, we would have gone over this way and we would have sped up to at least 85. Yeah, for sure.
We need to do that. We need to do a video guide on what to do in Philly for WrestleMania week.
That's a great idea.
Especially if I'm going to do the, I'm already, been talking to Dougie over at McCuskers about doing a Meanie and DeMeanie party. Meanie Mania party. It would still be the same thing. Meanie Mania party that Friday night of WrestleMania. And, just say, hey, take an Uber.
Yeah.
Parking sucks. Just, use car share. Load up your, save all your money towards car share instead of getting a rental car and just Uber wherever you go around Philly.
Yeah.
Because the parking's going to suck. There's no use in even attempting to park in South Philly, I mean, and it's kind of near the stadiums. So we're like, McCuskers is like 10 minutes from Wells Fargo, Lincoln Financial Field, that Citizen Bank Park area, because they're all neighbors. But use the benefit of car share apps and stuff like that. If you get carpool with people and stuff like that too. But yeah, man, just I'm looking forward to when Meanie comes into Philly. Been heard a little scoopage that I came and talk about, like as far as like stuff that's happening in the town, because it hasn't been announced yet. But I've sworn to secrecy. But that I get off on knowing things not other people don't know yet.
Dude, if it's going to be anything like SummerSlam's experience was, it's going to be super dope. I think though, if I go, I'm going to try to go to Survivor Series in November. I think it's in Chicago, but I think I may end up trying to rent a car this time just because I spent so fucking much in Ubers. Like, it's crazy, like how much and how expensive it gets, really fast. Like there was a bunch of us in the media when we left, like we all left the front of Ford Field and we walked left and we just kept walking, right? It was almost like it was like a zombie walk, like just like a hordes of people just walking. And we must have walked at least 2 miles just to get away from it, to get closer to a hotel to try to find a ride share. And every time I would refresh my phone, excuse me, the prices would jump up like $20, $30. I think the Uber ride I ended up taking, which I didn't pay for, somebody else did, because I ended up jumping in with them, and I think it was close to $120. So,
for one ride,
one way. Yeah, it took us from Ford, like right on the other side of Ford Field, down to closer to Detroit's airport. And then I had to drive. So basically that was like $120, right? Then I had to take an Uber back to my hotel, which was probably 15 minutes away from the airport. And then I had to take one back because my flight was at, I don't know, whatever time it was. I think total.
Well, your hotel didn't have a shuttle?
No, not that far. No, I was far.
Oh,
I booked at the wrong Westin. Like I selected the wrong location. So the shuttle was, I was like, fuck, I got to really pay attention to this next time. But I went, I think it was
rookie.
Yeah. Hey, listen, man, first time Jones here, and I fucked up on the hotel. So then but long story short, the point is that my Uber rides, both of them back and forth that morning, I think were only $30 together. And like just after the event is just insane. So I'm trying to price out, if I'm going to go to Chicago, I'm going to try to price out and be like, is it worth just renting a car? Because I don't want to spend that much money. And then also too, like, I'm stuck, right? I'm stuck, and like every time is $20. It's this, that, and the other. I don't know. I'd rather go explore the area, and I wanted to see more of Detroit. I saw a decent amount of it, but I wanted to go see more things in the area while we had downtime. So, no, I think it's a wonderful idea. I think we should definitely try to pull that off with, hey, here's some friendly reminders when you come to Philadelphia.
Yeah.
When the light turns green. Yeah. Yep. Or even that song, Daylight.
Or that, or we could just do the Always Sunny music.
Yes, dude, yes. Perfect. Right on the nose. I love it. When the light turns green, you fucking move. You don't sit there and figure it out. You fucking drive.
You don't fiddle fuck with your phone. Just put your foot on the fucking gas.
And if you miss the turn, don't cut in the fucking lane. Just keep going. Eventually, you'll find your way back.
Yeah.
We should totally
Don't make a right from the center fucking lane, asshole.
If you know you got to turn right, start merging earlier. Don't fucking sit in the left lane the entire way and then jut over to the right. Fucking start merging.
Listen here, you prick.
You fucking rat bastards. Every morning. There's always one. And also, too, don't fucking drive on the side of the road. There's always a cop somewhere. There's always a statey, or there's always Philly PD on the shoulder of the road. Don't drive on the shoulder of the road. Don't be stupid.
Don't be stupid, you moron.
Told you not to be stupid, you morons. Idiots. But, dude, I got fucking COVID again, man.
God damn.
And it wasn't even from Detroit, man. It was Courtney's fault. Mrs. Goober's fault.
Fucking heat.
Heat.
Hot potato.
It was my fault the first time, yeah. No, I got home from fucking, so I went to work on Monday, and I was in the office, and I was kind of sitting there, I was texting Courtney, I was just like, geez, like I'm exhausted, right? Like I don't feel myself. But I think it's just because of like the past 3 or 4 days, I just haven't really slept. And I'm like, I'll be fine, drink an extra energy drink, which I smuggled one of these Johns. This is my last smuggled John from Detroit. I put a bunch in my suitcase and they all survived.
Awesome.
C4 Johns. These are actually pretty solid, man.
C4 is pretty good.
Impressed.
Have you tried the Starburst one yet?
I have, yeah. I like the C4 brand. I typically, if I stop and get one, I'll get the orange. There's like an orange crush or something like that. The Starburst ones are really good. I would say I prefer the Ruthless Raspberry over the Power Bomb Berry, the red can.
Is that really what it's called?
This is called Ruthless Raspberry, yeah. And you can see this now on patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie.
But they have a Power Bomb?
They have like a Power Bomb Berry, I think is the other flavor, yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Wrestling theme.
Yeah, they did a whole, these were fucking everywhere. Like everywhere you look, there was people just handing them out in droves. And the people that I was with, they were like, oh, well, I can't
I'm
drink
sure
this.
they sponsored. Yeah.
Yeah, they were big. They had their names on the rings and shit. And so I was just like stuffing them in. I was just like holding them, like carrying 4 of these as I walk into the car. So yeah, I fucking so I'm at the office, and then Courtney calls and she's like, hey, listen, she's like, I think I have COVID because one of our neighbors had it, and she went to hang out with a couple of them, while I was away. And so she takes the test, she pops hot, And then I'm like, fuck. So I'm like, all right.
Pop it like it's hot. Pop it like it's hot.
Snoop Dogg's in the house, y'all. The Snoop Meanie. I think he should probably induct you into the Hall of... Well, we'll get to that. But... But anyway, so I'm like, all right, like, I get home, I'm like, all right, let me take a test. And it's literally, as soon as I took the test, man, it jumped right off the fucking thing again. And I was like, well, fuck, no wonder I feel like shit. And I will tell you that Tuesday was the worst day of this. Like, Tuesday was horrific. I had a headache that wrapped around my head, felt like I was wearing like a crown. I had 103 fever the entire day. I had the chills, I had the shakes. I was coughing, like I couldn't catch my breath. Courtney and I we were both out for the count, like and trying to raise 4 kids at the same time because everybody's quarantined now, you know?
Yeah.
So, oh God, it's been horrible. Like, and this new variant apparently is super contagious and lots of people are getting really sick from it. And so that's what we think we got. And, yeah, so it's been the fucking shits, man. I'll tell you. It's been squid inking the toilet too. It's been
oh my God.
Yeah, it's been bad, dude. It's been real bad.
10 on the Muda scale. I know. Look, I know the Muda. I know the Muda scales, you know, usually reserved for bleeding,
right?
You know, for blading your forehead. But as far as like Muda misting, you know, fucking Muda missed the fucking toilet. That is a fucking 10.
It's funny because it's true. It's literally, It was just like, I can't stop. There's no stopping.
There's nothing. I know sometimes I think we talk too much about pooping, but it's like one of those shits where it's like one of those shits where somebody leaves a marble in the dryer. You know, it's just like, you know, the fucking bathroom. Like the intake valve in your car just went fucking mad.
It's the catalytic converter just slamming around and yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh dude.
Nobody's stealing that catalytic converter in South Philly.
No thanks, we don't want that one. No, it's been bad. Doctor gave me something called Paxlovid, which is like a 3-pill cocktail I take twice a day, and it's helped. But I still feel awful, man. So this has been it's been nice to be home though. You know, like even though I've been sick, like it's nice to be home and not have to worry about going to work, but fucking shit's brutal.
Man, just fucking being home's nice anyway.
Yeah.
Just we've been doing a lot of, you know, traveling, and that, you know, last couple of weeks we went up to Rhode Island for the New England Fan Fest, which was awesome. Then we traveled yesterday for the KNS virtual signing. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to Chicago for StarCast end of this month, and just for Chicago, I said, "Fuck it, we're just going to drive." Yeah, because I'm sure I've said it before, but you know, for those who missed it, here it is. In my opinion, like, okay, you book a flight and you're ready to travel. Before your flight, you got to get up. You got to be at the airport 2 to 3 hours before your flight. That's 3 hours right there. It takes you about an hour to get on the fucking plane with all the fucking slow pokes. And fucking, let me slowly take off my jacket and put it in the fucking, and you're like, fucking move. That's 4 hours. Then, if you have 2 flights, your first flight's hour and a half. So that's like 6, I ain't fucking good at math. You keep up. 6.5 hours, right? Then you got to wait another hour or 2 for your connection. Mm-hmm. Now, if you're lucky and they haven't canceled your fucking connection, because that's what they do, they purposely oversell flights and they leave you stranded in a fucking town. That's another 2 fucking hours. Then your connection could be another hour, 2 hours. What's that, 8, 9 hours?
Yeah, you're at like 9 hours now, yeah.
Driving from Philly to fucking Chicago's 11 hours straight. Just fucking drive.
Yeah.
Fucking drive. And when you get there, you got to wait for your bags. If you get a rental car, you have to wait to get the rental car. Get the rental car in fucking Philly.
Just drive.
And fucking just drive. And whatever you're doing, like, the gas and tolls are probably cheaper than the cost of a fucking ticket. And you might have to pay an extra day or two for the car, but that still fucking evens out cheaper than the flight.
Yeah.
So you could be saving like $200 to $300 just fucking driving it.
It's not a bad idea.
Just get a fucking rental car and drive it. And, God forbid. And here's another thing is like, I'm still friends with people in the biz. Not that I'm totally out, but like people who are in the mix. And I've seen they're in like flights being canceled. I might have to stay an extra day at a hotel. I don't know when I'm getting home. Fuck that.
Yeah, dude.
Fuck being held hostage. Philly to Chicago will be 11 hours. We can pull over when we pull over. We can listen to all our favorite podcasts. Mm-hmm. We don't have to fucking sit there and, sit in a fucking germ capsule and fucking, breathe in, they say they filtered it. I don't know. You're dreaming of that recycled fucking air,
Yeah.
So, by the way, in row 32 is smelling my fart from row 6, through the fucking vents.
There's no recycling that, pal. None.
Oh, that's like a mail shoot fart, when they, or a bank shoot, bank shoot. When you go to the ATM and you put your deposit thing and the counter, all the way through to the other. That's what I'm doing with my farts. I fart and it goes right into the recycle thing, and the guys in the back of the plane are getting a fucking whiff of that. Yeah. From Meanie with love. But yeah, just if the drives, I used to have a limit where if it's 6 hours I could do it, but now if it's 11,
it's not bad.
You figure you're still all that time it takes to wake up, get to the airport, prepare, go through fucking security, get something to eat in the fucking airport at airport prices, which is bigger than fucking hotel prices.
Yeah.
And then you get on the flight, if it takes off on time, and then if you land on time, you're going to wait 2 hours. If it lands late, you got to run to your next fucking flight. Yeah. That's fucking anxiety. And then you got to wait another. I love when I fly to a town and they fly me an hour past the town just to fly an hour back to the fucking town. Like it used to drive me nuts when we, every time I wrestled in New Orleans, I would have to fly to Houston.
Why?
It'd be like Philly to Houston, which is an hour past flight-wise, an hour past fucking New Orleans. And then I have to sit around and wait for a fucking flight to fly back to where I just fucking came from to land in New Orleans. Just ridiculous. It's like, dude, give me a fucking parachute. Give me a fucking parachute. I'll fucking was it
DB Cooper?
DB Cooper. I'll fucking DB Cooper that shit. Fuck it.
Hey man, listen, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking about it now if I decide I want to drive out there to or if I get approved to go to Survivor Series. I mean, 11 hours isn't that bad. It's not that bad.
You can leave right from the event.
Yeah, I could leave or I'd leave a little bit earlier in the morning. Even if I left, you figure if I left at 6:00 in the morning to get home, you figure what's that? Probably closer home to like 4 in the afternoon. That's still.
If you're just pulling over for a couple, piss breaks,
Yeah, I could stop
and gas up,
get food on the way. I could easily reroute myself from. Because it takes me through up through the middle of the state. I could stop in Pittsburgh, grab some food, some of the spots I know, and then fucking head right out. That's actually not a bad idea. Fuck.
Think of the money you're saving. You're thinking about flying. Look, you're thinking about flying to Chicago, renting a car. Just rent the fucking car and drive out there, and whatever you would have spent on the fucking ticket, you're saving money on gas with gas and tolls.
Right, and I'm driving a car that's not like
not
kind
yours.
of brand new, and it's not mine. Yeah.
Dude, I got a rental for yesterday for the K&S thing. Fucking brand new Nissan Altima. Guess how many miles it had on it?
Oh, probably 12.
54.
Holy shit, dude.
I was like, holy shit. This is pretty cool. This is like the newest thing I've ever fucking driven.
Yeah.
I like getting rental cars too. You can just fucking, I back in the day, I'd be like, fuck it, it's a rental. Older, more mature me brings a trash bag now. And, well, I also, belong to Zipcar too, which is like a car share thing. And they always encourage you to leave the car the way you want to find it, so Except for the guy who smoked a fucking blunt in the last fucking zip car I fucking had. You get in and you're just like, it's like, I don't want to be a fucking stooge and report this guy, but then somebody's going to report me for it. You know,
right. I'm not taking responsibility.
You got to leave it with you got to leave it with gas in the tank and shit. But yeah, we rented a fucking Nissan Altima yesterday and 54 fucking miles on it. It's pretty fucking sweet. Man. Yeah, get a rental car.
That's not bad. I think I might actually do that because again, you know, I'm a photographer, so I like stopping places. If I see something, I want to take a photo of it. And again, too, if I want to drive around fucking Chicago, I'd rather be able to have the ability to go. Like, you figure, all right, I'm spending money on a hotel there, and then a rental car. You know, are you getting charged by? I don't know. It's been a while since I've got a rental car. You don't get charged by the mile, do you?
No, by the day.
By the day. Okay, so yeah. All right, so I get charged by the day for a rental car. You figure what? If I have it from Thursday to Sunday, we're looking at 4 days, maybe, I don't know, $500-$600. Like, that's nothing compared to a fucking flight, checking my bags, like the Ubers back and forth. I mean, that's saving a significant amount of money there.
And, if you know other people who are there, you can give them a lift and stuff like that and be the hero.
Yeah. Hey, y'all, here, help me chip in for this fucking, this car, and we'll road trip to fucking Chicago.
Yeah, or if you're there, hey. I'll give you a lift to the hotel. And Adam, you're so sweet.
Yeah, you're the best. Yep. $20, please. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. No, I'm just kidding. Only one person I would charge. But no, I would
two.
Maybe two. I think that actually sounds like a really fucking awesome idea.
Well, look, put it this way too. You kill it on Instagram. You do those day in the life fucking things.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah.
You just fucking strap a GoPro to the fucking hood and fucking time lapse the fucking drive.
You're a genius. You're a
Mrs. Meanie kind of did that with our drive out to Indiana, where she took footage and time lapsed it.
Ah.
And she did a really good job with that. So that's what kind of gave me the idea. If you get like a camera, just strap it to your hood and you just fucking document the drive. Also, shout out to my boy Flatbat Mikey on Instagram and my buddy Sebastian, because they travel for a living. I told him, I was like, guys, you would kill it on Instagram with all the shit you see in the photos you can take.
Yeah.
You go follow Flatbed Mike on Instagram I think it's at Flatbed Mike. He's a truck driver. And my buddy Sebastian Kikanya, Coccanga, he traveled a lot for his job. He's a salesman, so he's always driving somewhere. He's taking photos of really cool looking architecture and shit like that.
Oh, that's amazing.
So, and you're an amazing photographer as well. You can take some, you'll get to see some cool shit and document it. Stuff like that, yeah.
That's what I'm hoping for. Yeah, I mean, that's what I tried to do in Detroit. I tried to get as many photos as I could. I think I had the wrong film in, I had a 100-speed film, and that's it's great during the daytime. You get really nice, almost digital looking photos. But as the light starts to go down, you can't meter it properly, right? So typically, if I'm at an event, I'll do a 400 speed because that's kind of versatile for everything, right? But I really tried hard to get as many in the moment as I could, but I was also busy recording content for Instagram and doing stuff for the podcast, and it was just this dance I had to do. So now I'm looking at this right now, and I'm like, holy shit, this is crazy cheaper compared to fucking doing fucking flying. This could be a game changer for me. But
what you do is get a cooler, fill it full of drink. Go load up on drinks. Get some snacks.
Yeah.
Throw it in the fucking back seat. That way you're not fucking paying rest stop fucking and all that kind of shit. You're getting the stuff you want.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can fucking just get something small, and then you fucking load up on some audiobooks and fucking drive out and just be one with the road.
It's a great idea, especially too. And I'm thinking too because like during that time it's Thanksgiving. Flying out there is going to be like
brutal, fucking brutal.
Bad. So I don't even think I would want to do that. And I don't even need anything. I'm looking at this thing. It says Nissan Maxima. That's all I need. I don't need anything fucking crazy. I just need something that'll get me from point A to point B. Like I don't need a fucking. I mean, it would be dope to drive a fucking an Escalade out there, like show up like a fucking boss. But do I want to spend that money? No, I don't.
Dude, I fucking did the New England Fan Fest 2 weeks ago. They fucking they upgraded me because they didn't have my car to a fucking SUV. And I was like, oh, this is cool, right? Until I had to fucking fill up the tank. Like, holy shit. I was like, fuck, man. I should have just fucking, it's almost cost of 1 day for renting this motherfucker. I'm paying a fucking gas.
Oy. Well, that's the thing too. Like I'm thinking about it. It's like there's going to be fucking delays in the airport because of the holiday. There's going to be people that are stuck there. I'd rather just be like, all right, because at least if I pay later, like I can reserve it. I don't have to worry about it. I can go pick the car up and then leave when I want to. I don't give a fuck. That's just like, come on.
Yeah, you don't have to fucking, I got a 6 a.m. flight. And then you're just staring all night at the fucking clock because you don't want to fucking get, set your alarm for when you're comfortably ready to fucking leave. Mm-hmm. And just like, okay.
See ya. Yep.
Yeah.
I love this. This is a game changer for me, sir. I like this very much.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't mind, like I said, I don't mind the distance. It's the fucking standing still in traffic that fucking kills me. I could do 11 hours if the traffic's moving.
Yeah.
Because, when you're stuck in traffic, you think, I could have been here by this time if these motherfuckers hadn't been in my way,
Yep. If they hadn't been they hadn't caught an accident, fucking, now we're 6 hours behind, assholes. Thank you so much, you fucking dicks.
Dude, I almost had a guy fucking run me off the road yesterday. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. Thank God I got the fucking full coverage. God damn.
Jesus, man. That's nothing scarier than that. We almost did, like, it's, I don't know. I guess because I'm so hyper-focused in the car because of the kids, I don't know how people can't pay attention to what they're doing while they're driving. Like, that drives me fucking nuts. When I see these people just pull out, and I'm like, I do the whole hand out, like, Philly thing. Like, what the fuck are you doing, And it's like, how are you not paying attention? How could you not see this?
Yeah.
I don't know. So, listen, I got a question for you here.
Meanie travel tips. Yes,
Meanie
go ahead.
Travel tips, yes. And we will have...
Ask away.
We'll have the video footage for you soon.
We need to work on that,
to prep for your trip to Philadelphia here for WrestleMania 40.
Yeah.
So a couple things. I guess we could talk a little bit of wrestling here.
Sure.
Did you hear about Sonya Deville's injury and Chelsea Green's Chelsea's Got Talent campaign? I wanted to see your thoughts on that and see if you had any...
What was the second part there? You roboted a little bit.
Sorry about that. Chelsea's Got Talent. Chelsea Green has been all over Twitter trying to find people to fill in to be her tag team partner. And so she's got Cardona and she's got a bunch of other people like, independent talents that have been jumping in and, trying to audition for the role. I just want to know your thoughts on that.
Unfortunately, I haven't. Unfortunately for Sonya Deville, I feel bad for her injury. She's awesome. Mm-hmm. I got a chance to meet her a few times. Incredibly nice, great person, great talent. Always hate to hear about injuries. I have not seen the Chelsea's Got Talent videos, but now that you mention it, I will make it a point to go watch said videos. But that's a great thing to do. Where are they area? Is it just like a social media thing? Is it on the WWE TV thing? Or?
She's just on her social media asking people to be like, I need a new tag team partner. I'm not vacating these titles. Be a part of this. Like, send in your resume and this, that, and the other. And she's been responding to like everybody. So if you check out her Twitter account, it should be on there.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's just a creative idea. Like it's something that I was like, wow, that's really like she's taking the ball and taking chicken shit and making like serious chicken salad out of it. I thought that was a pretty dope use of that.
That's amazing. Well, that's what you need to do. in today's day and age. I mean, she's married to the perfect guy who got over with the when Cardona was Zack Ryder and doing the Long Island IZ things that he garnered him some attention. He gained some fucking steam with that, and he got a little bit of pushki brother, from doing those videos. So kudos to her for having the thought to fucking go and do that.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to talk about, I spoke to the guys from the Public Enemies podcast about this. I think it was the other night. We were talking about the numbers for All In over there at Wembley Stadium. I believe the last I checked, they were at 79,000 tickets sold, if I recall correctly. I want to know, what do you think is the magic number that they're going to reach before the show hits?
I don't know. I also don't want to be that guy to go, it's not the same Wembley Stadium.
True, I didn't want to say it, but...
Hey, I had somebody break my heart with the fact that it's not the same. Like when I went to the Taylor Hawkins show, I was like, oh, same place Freddie Mercury played, and somebody went, well, actually, it's not the same stadium. I was like,
yeah,
I could pretend. Same skyline, right?
Yeah, hey,
as
long as
same air.
We're still breathing it.
Yeah, but I don't know. And I also saw the thing is like how many of those tickets are like tickets given to ticket brokers who are just holding on to those tickets, and stuff like that. It's a shame you have to fucking think about these things, like how many tickets there are out there, but not actually in fans' hands. The ticket brokers who buy up lots, and then have to do it and stuff like that. So, it's an impressive number. No, either way.
Right.
That's nothing to fucking sneeze at. But I don't know. And it speaks to the passion of the UK fans because think about all the events the folks from the UK have to travel to America for. Now once a year they're coming to WrestleMania or SummerSlam or the initial AEW, the AEW events, the all-ins and stuff like that, or in the States. Now they could just get to stay at home, on their home turf and visit Wembley, the new Wembley. It's impressive. It's impressive. Hopefully, it translate, into more events over there in the UK, because I think this is their first trip to the UK, right? With all AEW.
I believe this is their first big foray into UK territory. So I think that's what they're doing here. Yeah.
So
again, it's like it's exciting to see them make a real run at this, and it's even with I think there's only 4 matches that are announced. So it's kind of like, well, how much more can you bring in? Or how many other big names are you going to be able to secure before this happens?
Put it this way. You've only announced 4 matches. You've sold 79,000 tickets. That leaves room for surprises.
Yeah.
Where you don't have to fucking announce this, that, and the other thing. You could just have a bunch of really cool surprises. It takes a little bit of pressure off on having to announce the rest of the show. Because that's why you hold off announcing things, is to have another reason to promote the show to sell more tickets.
Right.
They've sold 79,000. So with 4 matches announced, you can hold off on announcing things and maybe open a window for something different, other than what they had planned. So it's a good opportunity for it's a good thing for the fans that the tickets have sold they've sold this many tickets in advance.
Yeah. Meanie.
Yes, sir.
Cannonballs.
Cannonballs!
This summer, it's not about the size of those cannonballs. It's about making the splash with our friends at Manscaped. Prep for barbecue season by making sure your grill master has the hottest dogs the summer's ever seen. When you're at the cookout, let the meat speak for itself with Manscaped's Performance Package 4.0. It's time to get ready and not sweaty, Meanie. by going to manscaped.com right now and using promo code MindMeanie for 20% off plus free shipping. And Meanie, I gotta tell you, you use some of them generic store brand razors to trim Little John and the East Side Boys, and you're gonna get some nicks, you're gonna get some cuts, and you're gonna get some scrapes. I gotta tell you, man, using the Manscaped products, the Performance Package 4.0 has helped my confidence, not only looking at myself in the mirror, but also with Mrs. Goober, if you know what I'm talking about. The Manscaped Performance Package 4.0 has everything you need to guarantee you'll have the most mouth-watering treats at the party. They have even built the ultimate bundle for your summer grooming. Their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. The Lawnmower has a 7,000 RPM motor, meaning, I don't know if you know all this, but it also has a new multifunction on and off switch that can engage a travel lock so you don't get any uncomfortable buzzing in your luggage. And it gives you the ability to turn off the 4000K LED spotlight on and off when needed for a more precise shave if you're like me in the shower at 4:30. Did I mention, Meanie, that this trimmer is waterproof too? Beach, pool, or shower, this razor will devour even the strongest pubes.
Let me tell you something, sir. It is summertime, and I like to go in the pool. And speaking of cannonballs, I like to moisturize my cannonballs with the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant. After I put on a comfortable pair of the Manscaped boxers, these are the most comfortable boxer shorts I have ever worn in my life, and I love them.
I'm wearing them right now. No shit. I legitimately am wearing them, and they are so comfortable. They're soft. They're breathable. They give me extra room for Little John of the East Side Boys. And you'll get a set of Manscaped boxers and the Shed travel bag inside of the Performance Package 4.0 as a free gift. Now, wearing sandals with some nasty toenails is nasty during the summer months. Looks like you're going to jump into the water and catch trout. The good news is that they added in something new, the Shears 2.0, a luxury nail grooming set, which includes stainless steel nail cutters, tweezers, and grooming scissors. And as a treat, you should add in the crop mops to your order, a moist towelette specifically for your beach balls, Meanie. It's the best midday refresher to stop your popsicle from melting. So go ahead right now, Meanie. Where can they go right now?
Go to manscaped.com and save 20% when you use our coupon code MindMeanie.
That's 20% off plus free shipping by using promo code MindMeanie at manscaped.com. Manscaped, the perfect way to get your patty sizzling hot this summer. And we want to thank them, as always, for sponsoring the program. Anything wrestling-wise that's struck your fancy recently in the world of the sport that we love?
Just been watching the dark sides of the ring and stuff like that. Saw the Marty Jannetty one, which was
what'd you think about that?
I love Marty, but what a fucking character that guy is, man. Just what was the week before? Was that Bam Bam?
No, I think it was Bash at the Beach.
Yeah, that one was
Let me see.
that was okay. That was kind of filler. But I liked the Bam Bam one. Getting to see his son Shane, all grown up. I met Shane Bigelow in person. Bam Bam had worked for 3PW a couple times, and Shane had come out, and you're like, God damn, kid was bigger than me.
Wow.
At the time, he was maybe like 12 or 13, and he was like 6 foot. I was like, God damn.
Jesus.
God damn.
Oh, God damn.
But, well, God damn. Man, fucking big. But it was cool to see Bammer's story. And it's a shame the way, I mean, it is called Dark Side of the Ring, and it's a shame, the way things ended for him.
Yeah.
But I kind of like what, Dark Side's been doing, where they kind of put like a little bow on it, where you see that the kids are doing good. The wife's talking about how she signed all over the IP, Bam Bam's IP over to the kids, so they can have their father could still support them,
right?
Posthumously and stuff like that. So, and Bam Bam was a big help to me in ECW. Getting into wrestling, I always wanted to be the agile big guy. And one day, Bam Bam comes up to me. He's in the locker room. He goes, "Look, I know you're not going to be Charles Atlas here. You don't want to kill your gimmick, but if you go to the gym and just ride the bike for an hour, always have a strong set of legs. Because if you want to be the big guy and keep going, there's nothing worse than when you get them blown up and your legs feel like they're noodles. Have a strong set of legs, to carry, even when you're sucking, when you can work your way through a match and stuff like that. And something I took to heart. And then, there's a moment where Bam Bam pulled me aside. It's like, tell me how much you making a night? I would say, and he was like, go to Paul and ask for this. All right. And one day, I went over to Paul. I was like, hey. And I did exactly what Bammer said, and Paul was like, sure, okay. And I was like, holy shit. Okay.
Wow.
So, thanks to Bam Bam, I got, really good advice for in-ring stuff as a big guy. And I was able to make a little bit more money to, have a little breathing room to live, just because, at that point, he said he was running 4 shows. Towards the end of my run, they were running 4 shows a week.
Wow,
which was pretty cool. So an extra check at a little bit of a bumped up pay scale was pretty good, and I was able to help out until I went to WWE and started making the serious cash. But I'm grateful for whatever Paul paid me, because I was only in the business for a couple. When I went to ECW, I was only in business for a year and a half. So I was getting, the typical rookie pay.
Right.
So to speak. But thanks to Bammer, I found the courage to, ask for a little bit more. And, to see, how much of a loving father he was, even though he had his problems and stuff like that, he still, loved his kids. And, to see how well they're doing now, and the fact that his wife said, the kids will be taken care of as long, with the IP and stuff like that, it was good to see. I still miss him. He's a great guy, but, that's, that, the Bam Bam Bigelow one, the Adrian Adonis was a really good one.
Yeah.
I learned a lot of new things. Because back in the day when when Adrian passed away, there's so many fucking misconceptions about what happened.
Right.
And just to hear it and stuff like that. And we've already covered this, but, seeing the one twin who survived the crash, the emotions on his face, really tugged at my heartstrings. But, Marty Jannetty, man, I love you, buddy. But, I guess Marty was the main event for this season's Dark Side of the Ring. And talk about a guy who's so incredibly talented, but just can't get his shit together.
Yeah.
And that's a shame.
I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but I've heard a lot of the same feedback about Marty Jannetty's episode, where it's just a lot of people are like, wow, we really like this guy, but it's just, bro, what are you doing? Like what's happening, I
didn't, he's had this ankle issue where one thing I can relate to is they're talking about how bad he rolled his ankles a couple times. And as a kid, I've rolled my ankles a lot, being flat-footed and stuff like that. And you just be walking and your foot would go, like, motherfucker. And you just feel it would go and blow up. Mm-hmm. But just to see the state that his ankles are in, my goodness. And the pain he's going through, but still doesn't excuse, some of the stuff he's done.
Yeah.
So to speak. For a guy that talented, you just wish he had his shit together so he can, he should still, his talent and his experience, he could be teaching somewhere. Teaching, the next generation. Somebody could be benefiting from a Marty Jannetty. Yeah. It's just, he's been his own, he's been his own worst enemy, so to speak. His biggest adversary is himself.
Yeah. It's a shame. I've heard lots of good things about this season, so I'm looking forward to going back and checking it out. But I think I caught most of the Bash at the Beach episode, but I want to check out. Definitely want to go back and rewatch Adrian Adonis and then this one as well. Just because, again, like I think Marty's got this kind of wild story, and I'm curious to find out more about it. But I will say, sir, I have a question for you, if I may. If I may say first.
Yeah, of course.
Are you ready to ask Meanie?
I would love to. It's time to ask me anything. Ask me something.
This is a drizzling shits.
I can't remember what regular air smells like.
Don't forget, tweet us your questions using the hashtag AskMeanie, and we will ask them. We may ask them on the show. And Meanie, typically I would have waited for this moment, but because of the Rona that's currently in my body, my throat has been bothering me. So I have this delicious sparkling ice berry lemonade that I can still get some sizzle out of. What about you? What did you bring today?
I've been rocking the Polars a lot lately. I got the Polar Black Cherry.
Attaboy.
So I'm going to Sandman this motherfucker in 3, 2, 1. There we go.
A little bit of sizzle on that steak there. Pinky up.
Yes, sir.
Oh, such good shit, pal. All right. I'm going to get
That's put it in the fridge, so I'm going to be burpy and farty.
QX.
I'll be farty Jannetty over here.
Is that the name of the episode, Farty Jannetty?
Why not? I dare you.
I'm going to write it down because I don't want to forget.
Farty Jannetty.
Farty Jannetty. Oh my God, I love it. That's definitely the name of the episode now. All right, here we go. So QX Jonah wants to know, what were your favorite non-wrestling action figures or toy lines growing up? And what's one that even as a kid you thought was kind of lame?
Well, dude, even like growing up, being a wrestling fan, I would buy the G.I. Joes and make them into wrestlers.
Yeah.
You know? I had my G.I. Joe wrestling league with, like, whoever was a ninja would be like the luchador, you know?
Yeah.
You know, Snake, you know, Cobra, Snake Eyes, those guys. You know, I would make little cardboard belts for them with Velcro and make little wooden rings and stuff like that. But like, I also had the G.I. Joe fucking fortresses and stuff like that. I can't imagine how much money we spent on fucking G.I. Joes back in the day. But excuse me.
Attaboy.
There we go. Burp the meanie. I guess I played most with G.I. Joes that weren't non-wrestling G.I. Joes. Lame? Probably have to be GoBots because they're like Bobo Transformers, you know?
Wish.com Transformers, yeah.
Yeah. Pro Kids.
I played a lot with, I was a Thundercats fan. I was a huge Thundercats fan as a kid.
Yeah.
Loved the show. And I had all the toys, the Mumra and the fucking Lino. And, man, I had fucking everything. So I would say, and I had a lot of different setups as a kid. But, yeah, I would say Thundercats is probably my non-wrestling favorite. Lame? I don't know, man. I don't even know if I had any ones that were like super lame that I was like, oh, this is stupid. You know, like,
Yeah.
Because I usually we didn't have much. So it was like the ones that I got was like, oh, this is so exciting. You know, no, I don't think everything was. No, I think I don't know if I have any. I'll have to think about that. I'll get back to you there, Jonah. Little Jimmy's here. Little Jimmy Sorensen Worldwide wants to know.
What up, Jimmy?
Says, hope everyone's having an amazing day. We are, sir. Thank you. Hope
Yes,
the same
sir.
for you. What was your favorite foam replica championship?
Oh, the only one I had was like the OG one that came out in 86, 87. They had the ones you could buy out of the magazine, but then WWE made their own.
Yeah.
The only foam replica I had back as a kid was the original OG, the first one that ever came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I would. I'm trying to think. Did I have it? Now you got me thinking. That was the only one I had. So Sorry if my answer wasn't as exciting. But yeah, that was the only one I had.
I think mine was the Winged Eagle, if I recall correctly. That was like the original OG, like 1990, 1989 one. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to think I'm like kid of the '80s, so
Yeah.
wherever I was, customer zero for like all the initial wrestling merch that came out. I was like the first fucking case study.
Yeah.
Of wrestling merch, that would come out in the '80s. When they were just starting to have merch, like dude. If I was a kid now, holy shit, with all the replicas now that look exactly like the fucking
literally
belts,
just like them. It's crazy, dude.
Yeah,
Crazy.
Kind of jealous, but I had the first one. Speaking of lame toys, that first one that came out with the Velcro strap and stuff like that. And now they got real belts with Velcro straps. So,
Mark and Dryden wants to know. I take it Meanie has heard about the new Van Halen boxed set. What are a couple of your favorite Sammy Hagar songs?
Well, I guess I always say it's like I like the Sammy era just like I like the Dave one. And fortunately, my favorite Sammy era song was the one that fucking broke them up. Was "Humans Being." Which they released for the Twister soundtrack. I forget what year that was, 96?
I think 96, yeah.
96, 97, something like that.
96, yeah.
Favorite Sammy. Dude, the song that's been playing The Dream Is Over. I think Eddie's playing slide on that, which something he never really did. But the guitar sound on that's really good. The whole Balance album. There's a instrumental called, I can't even pronounce it. It's like begins with a B. I'm not even going to try to sound foolish enough to fucking pronounce it. The instrumental on the Balance album that starts with a B. It's named after a fucking dinosaur. That's all I know, because it's got a big fucking sound. But I'm looking forward to the Sammy reissues because I like the Sammy era, but some of the albums, this sonically, like OU 812 is like a good album, but it sounded like it was recorded underwater sometimes. Some of it sounds like it's like, goddamn, it just sounds like it was recorded on an AM radio. Just like, holy shit. And I love the album, but, so it'll be cool. And the cool thing about the Sam era ones, they're being, looked over by Don Landy, who was their, the producer / engineer. He was the producer all the way through their whole run.
Right. From
the Dave era, when Ted Templeman did his first, 6 albums, and then all the way to all the Sammy stuff. Don Landy was in there, except maybe there was one album they had. I can't think of the guy's fucking name. The guy used to produce Led Zeppelin, Andy Johns. And they got Andy Johns because they're a fan of how Andy Johns made the drum sound Andy Johns had for John Bonham. Like he mic'd up John Bonham's drums for all the Led Zeppelin albums. They give him that big fucking booming sound.
Yeah.
And they wanted that sound for the Van Halen album. For that album, I think it might have been For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. But then he wasn't working out, and they brought Ted Templeman back, into the fold to finish off the album because Andy Johns was just a mess at that point. But I like that the Sammy era records are getting a little bit of attention. They're gonna have some B-sides and stuff like that. I wish they would dive a little bit deeper into the vault. I know Wolfie was like, people have asked Wolfgang Van Halen, what's in the vault? And he's like, well, my dad said if it's good enough, we'll release it. All right. But dude, I love you, Wolfie. But I've heard Steve Vai and Joe Satriani say they've heard some stuff that he hasn't released. And
some things, Wolfie. We've heard some things.
If they say there's some stuff in there that hasn't been released, that's really cool. I'd love to hear. Like, supposedly, one of the albums, Van Halen albums, Eddie was just noodling around, did all the vocal parts with his guitar. So it's like there's Van Halen, the song, but instead of the vocals, Eddie's doing the vocals with the guitar, which is like, okay, please release that. I want to hear that. To me, it's I don't give a shit who sings for Van Halen. To me, it's always been about Eddie. He's the best guitar, in my opinion, the best guitar player ever. I'll spot you Jimi Hendrix, but to me, it's always been about Eddie Van Halen. And who's your favorite? Who gives a fuck?
Yeah,
go watch Eddie fucking play.
Right.
Yeah, just because he's not the wild man, fucking like he was, like the first fucking 6 albums, he was out of his mind, but like he matured.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I always say the Dave years were high school and the Sammy years were college.
Yeah, that's a great analogy.
You know?
And you could tell the difference between the musical sound, too. I mean, you could tell the way it's really the sound matures as Sammy comes into the fold. So,
yeah.
Would you have, is there any singer you would have liked to have seen? Because, I always think about, like when Rage Against the Machine broke up, right? Like when Zach De La Rocha left the band, they had a bunch of people fill in to test pilot the band, right? And then they ended up with Chris Cornell. But, apparently there's records out there with B Real from Cypress Hill doing, serious rock stuff. And, I would love to hear that shit. You know what I mean? I want to know what that sounds like. Was there anybody that you would have thought, would you have liked to seen, Van Halen do, a bunch of, an album with a bunch of different singers, or maybe one person you may have wanted to see work with Van Halen that never did?
When they initially, when Dave initially quit the band, and that's what those fucking David Lee Roth fans need to realize, he fucking quit.
Remember that, because that's what happened.
He abandoned you. He bopped out of the fucking band.
Scooby-Bop, do-bop is what happened.
Yes.
On his way out the door.
That's what he did. So don't be mad at them. There was rumors that they were going to have try to do maybe an album with different singers, and then the biggest rumors. Before I get to the one I said I would have liked to see, there's 2 people who were approached. One was Patti Smythe from the band Scandal.
Wow.
And Daryl Hall.
I remember you telling me about Daryl Hall. I remember that.
Yeah, Daryl Hall was not officially, but hey, what do you think? As far as people, someone I would have loved to have seen sing with Van Halen, Sebastian Bach.
Yeah.
From Skid Row.
Yeah, that would have been a great choice, man.
Because to me, he could have done. To me, he could have done the Dave and Sammy stuff.
Yeah.
Sebastian Bach's amazing. Live. So I think he could have definitely handled both and written some amazing stuff. For another. On his own.
Yeah.
So, and Gary wasn't bad, but when Gary Sharon was in the band, I think the mistake they made with Gary Sharon was they should have toured first.
Yes.
Go on tour, let him sing all the hits, then go into the studio. Once you have that chemistry of being on the road and knowing each other, then I think they could have wrote,
different
something
records
that would have been more acceptable.
Yeah.
But Van Halen 3, I like it. It was kind of like Eddie, in my way. And even though Gary was singing, it's like Eddie's solo album, but with Gary singing, Well, again, that wasn't a bad album.
Again, it's like you say, though, it's easier just to focus on Eddie as the person, as the band, right? As Van Halen. Rather than being it's, Van Halen. No, it's Van Hagar. No. All of this stuff tracks. That's why it's so popular, right? That's why people like it so much, is because it's all good. No, I don't disagree with you at all with Gary. I went back and listened to what was the cut? The first cut of that record. Was it Without? The record was called Without.
Without You.
That's a great fucking song, man.
That's my fucking drunken jam.
Dude.
Get drunk. If I could put on Without You, put on Humans Being.
Dude, that's a great fucking record, man.
Put on some 80s Kiss.
There you go.
Like the Lick It Up era, I'm a happy meanie.
I'm gonna have to go back and listen to it again. We got a question here from our
Yeah.
friend RJ Krasinski. What's up, RJ? What's going on?
What's up,
dude?
Dude, RJ's making a comeback. He's
Love it.
like Hulk Hogan going with the, brother, and he's doing the fire up. RJ's Krasinski's back, baby.
Love it, man. RJ, thank you for your questions every week. He's actually got a Hogan question here. He says, which moment did more for the wrestling business, the twin magic angle, or the Hogan-Andre match at WrestleMania 3?
What was the twin match? Was it the Hebners?
I think it was the Hebners, yeah.
Which one did the most for the wrestling business?
Mm-hmm.
I would have to say Hogan-Andre at WrestleMania 3.
Yeah.
The first two WrestleManias were a success. But the Hogan-Andre match was the match that kind of gave it that little shove over.
Mm-hmm.
They were doing the upward climb, and when you're climbing up and your arms and legs are getting a little tired, and you just need that little boost to get on up to the next level, and regain your bearings and catch your breath and go forward.
Mm-hmm.
WrestleMania 3 was that moment where it got him up to the next level.
Yeah.
And thank God Andre did business,
Brother.
because if you believe all the reports, from Hogan and Vince and Pat Patterson, Andre was playing with the idea of, we'll call it a ring, boy, but yeah, the twin magic was good. Memorable moment. The second time a Hebner screwed a world champion. Well, that was the first time.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Yeah, it was the first
time
time Hebner screwed a world champion, wasn't it?
That's before, Brett screwed Brett, before Earl screwed Brett. I love you, Earl. I'm just,
Just messing around, brother.
Yeah. I was there when they made up.
Oh, that's cool.
Fucking WWE was in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and for a house show. And all the fucking hearts came out. It was awesome.
Wow.
And I was sitting in the locker room, and I forget who was in there with me. Errol comes in and goes, I saw Brett. We shook hands. I was like, kind of cool.
Yeah.
I have to look that date up. I always go to historytowwf.com. Shout out to Graham Cawthorn, who runs that site. That's the go-to for like dates and stuff like that. But yeah, that was pretty cool. And yeah, I have never screwed a champion twice.
I got a last question here from our dear friend Hot Juice Gust Knights.
Before we get to that,
yeah,
I'm perusing the chat.
Oh yeah.
And I want to save the main event for the main event, which is grape juice.
Oh wait, here's one. Little Jimmy's got
Vanessa Bello brings up a great point. Can't wait to hear Eddie and Brian May's Starfleet content, which Brian May from Queen put out like an all-star record called Starfleet Project, where he brought Eddie Van Halen in and they did an album together. So he just released I forget what anniversary it was of the Starfleet Project, where it's got the songs, but he's putting all the bonus content is them just in the studio trying different stuff, and he leaves in like the conversation in between songs and stuff like that. And so if you're an Eddie Van Halen fan, go out to get the Brian May Starfleet anniversary box set. It's got like bonus Eddie Van Halen content on it. And there's a t-shirt that I'm eventually going to get where it's Eddie Van Halen's guitar sitting right next to Brian May's guitar, which I need, but I haven't gotten around to buying it yet.
Wait.
Yes.
Brian May.
Of Queen.
And Eddie Van Halen.
Of Van Halen.
Did a fucking record together.
Yes. In the 80s.
What the fuck?
It might have been after 1984.
It's looks like it was recorded April 21st and 22nd of 1983, and it was released.
Okay.
It was
That's
released October or Halloween of the same year.
Okay.
Wow. The tapes were not intended to be released and received minimal mixing. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had it for a while. And then Brian May just put out like a deluxe box set.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude. I had no idea this even existed. This is amazing. I can't wait to check this out. Yeah,
so for all the Eddie Van Halen fans like me who are begging Wolfie to go into fucking vaults, or, Eddie, of Wolfie and Alex, just go through the tapes, please. This is like a little appetizer.
Between this and Prince's vaults, like we talked about it before in Prince's vault, there's a fucking re-recorded rendition of Michael Jackson's Bad that he rewrote and recomposed. That's just exists, and I need to hear it.
I was having this conversation with McCuskers the other night with Dougie. I said, I hear supposedly in Prince's vault, they could release an album a year for the next 100 years, and it would all be new material.
Crazy.
There's like that much in Prince's vault,
Crazy.
But apparently, I think the people who took over Prince's estate are the same people who run like Graceland and stuff like that. So.
Yeah. I'm sure eventually there'll be enough public interest where they'll want to do it. I would imagine that eventually that kind of stuff will happen. But Jimmy asked if you had heard Wolfie's new album yet.
I haven't. I've heard what they put out so far. I love it. I was watching an interview with Michael Anthony. He was on with Eddie Trunk. And he said he heard Wolfie put out a song called Take a Bow, which I believe is all instrumental, if I'm thinking of the right track. And Michael Anthony said, there's stuff I've heard on the song Take a Bow that I thought I was listening to Eddie Van Halen play.
Wow.
Yeah, he's like, he's doing stuff that like I remember Ed doing when me and Ed were teenagers,
Wow.
So
that's crazy, man.
Oh, and also if you're, shout out to Chris Jericho, Talk is Jericho. He had an episode with Wolfgang Van Halen on, which was like a really good listen because, I guess Wolfie, felt comfortable enough to talk about some stuff. And without going into detail, because I'd rather you listen to the interview, go check out the new Talk is Jericho with Wolfgang Van Halen.
Let me see what else is going on here in the group chat. Let me see. Travis says...
Lively chat today.
Luke's
here. We got Trav. What up, Trav? Little Jimmy. Go to patreon.com/Meanie and join the conversation. Get your name mentioned on air. Well, not on air, but on the thing.
On the recording. Now, tiers start just as low as $10 a month. You can join us. You can watch the record early and ad-free. Travis said, listen to Prophets of Rage, Adam. Yeah, I've heard this group before. It's Be Real from Cypress Hill, Chuck D from Public Enemy, and then the actual members of Rage Against the Machine. Super fucking great stuff, man.
Awesome.
Love it. Machete says, Bowie's got a bunch of the vault too. Jesus Christ. I need all of these vaults. I need all of it in my life right now. I need everything, man. Everything. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything here. Nope. All right. Thank you for all of your questions this week.
Okay.
Let's get to the main event here.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God. All right. So he says, I went to a funeral this morning.
My condolences.
And let out a sneaky toot. And the I can't remember what regular air smells like line burst into my head.
I can't remember what regular air smells like.
And I immediately had to stifle a giggle unsuccessfully. I will share with you that happens to me frequently, and especially in serious situations. So I sympathize. What are the most humorous everyday public places to rip one out?
Oh my God. Two best places to get the best acoustics for farts are, McDonald's. Mm-hmm. The plastic benches, like if you get a booth.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because the curvature of the seat in McDonald's, if you lean a little forward, you get the proper cheek spreadage. So there's really no muffler involved with the cheeks. the air just hits the plastic direct on the seat, then it hits the backrest, and then it goes out into the ether. And of course, I mean, the number one place to let out a fart is church.
Yes, that's what my answer was going to be, is church.
That's why they call them pews.
It's the only place to do it. That's the best place.
Yeah.
You're honoring and serving the Lord while releasing gas.
As somebody who went to, I went to Catholic school, so I'm speaking from knowledge. I have farted in church plenty of times. And the worst thing about farting in Catholic school is the uniform. You're wearing those fucking dark blue polyester pants. You're wearing a fucking light blue shirt that's tucked in. So when you fart, you feel the fart going up your pant leg, up your dress shirt, and right to the fucking nostrils. And you're peeling your underwear off like with a tea kettle at the end of the day. You know, it's like...
It's like opening up an envelope with some fucking
steam.
steam.
Like you're sneaking somebody's mail so they don't notice, you know, just...
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. You're playing with a puppy. Oh, look at his head turn. Which is how people react to my farts. It's
oh,
like,
my God. Please stop.
Oh, my God.
That will always be
I am still looking for a bootleg of that show. There's some that was the Atomic Punks.
There's got to be somebody's got it.
Which had
the
singer guitar player from Steel Panther were in the Atomic Punks. There's footage of their shows out there. I need that show. It's from the Whiskey A Go-Go.
A bounty will be paid for this footage. Oh, my God, dude. Hilarious. And thank you for all of your questions. As always, each and every week, we enjoy them. And we love answering them here. And we love talking to you on the Pod Squad chat here. Everyone is here. It's been a great, lively conversation this morning. Again, patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. Sign up and join us today. Meanie, I want to thank you, as always, for doing this program and being a part of this wonderful community we have. But I want to know and have you share with everybody on the Pod Squad and beyond, where can everyone find you on social media, and where can everyone keep up to date with you with all your events?
If you would like to follow the Blue Meanie on all forms of social media, go to at Blue Meanie on Facebook, Twittergram, Instagram, sort of TikTok, but now Threads. Hopefully that thing lasts. I like Threads. Support the Blue Meanie. Go to prowrestlingtees.com/Blue Meanie. If you would like to support Mind of the Meanie, go to prowrestlingtees.com/Mind of the Meanie. Collar and Elbow, the wrestling brand, go to collarandelbowbrand.com. Use coupon code Meanie or use coupon code MIND. Save 10% at collarandelbowbrand.com. Now that you got your T-shirts and you're a bearded fellow like myself, go to madcatbeardcare.com. Get the Blue Spruce Beard Oil and Balm. Shout out to Josh Thornton, my buddy, doing great work. If you're a cat lover like myself, he rounds up the cats, takes them to the vet, all the feral cats, and releases them back into the wild. So if you'd like to support cats, go to madcatbeardcare.com. The Ultra Pro Wrestling video game coming to all major consoles in 2024. Ultra Pro Wrestling contains not only original characters created by Hal Haney, but many real-world wrestlers, including myself and many others, I'm afraid to accidentally mention before they announce it. So go to ultraprowrestling.com. That's ultraprowrestling.com, or follow them on Twitter at UPW Video Game on Twitter, because it's still Twitter.
It's never going to be X, man. It's never going to happen.
Fuck that. No. I'm going, Ixnay on the Xnay. The Figure Collections Bone Crushing Wrestler Series 1 variants of the Blue Meanie are available now. All Series 1s can be ordered now at shop.figurecollections.com. That's shop.figurecollections.com. Get Old School Meanie or the BWO Meanie. Either one there's no wrong choices. So To have Blue Meanie on your podcast, go to podstars.net. That's PODSTARZ.net. Register your podcast and then book the Meanie. Shout out to Jim Nelson over at glaciersofIce.com. Jim made a 3 of 3 only handmade custom BWO Air Jordan 1 sneaker for Stevie, Nova, and myself. Each pair take Jim about 50 hours per pair. So go follow Jim on all forms of social media at GOI Kicks. That's all forms of social media at GOI Kicks. Cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO for birthdays, holiday, and well wishes. Just did one this week. Somebody hit me up with a question, which was pretty cool. It was fun to answer. So go over to Cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO for birthdays, holiday, and well wishes. But more importantly, Mr. Barnard, where can we find you?
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Threads. You can find me there. This is Goober. Yes, that's my handle. No, I'm not changing it. It's a brand, pal. So go over there and follow me right now. My Instagram's been active and alive with all of the content I've done over at SummerSlam this past weekend in Detroit. So go check it out there. You can also listen to my other show, Foundation Radio, by going to foundationradio.net. Or if you have an iPhone and you have Apple Podcasts, you can find both shows as part of the Premier Podcast Network. So you can go there right now, find our shows and a lot of other great content right now, foundationradio.net. Don't forget, Brothers Gaddor still has a very small handful of the very first Adam Barnard Wrestle Buddies. There's only 25 in existence. Once they're sold out, they're gone for good. So you can go to brothersgaddor.com. And also, Meanie, by the way, has his own Wrestle Buddy. And you can pick up one of those there. And also a 2-pack. That's right, 2-pack of your favorite podcast hosts together, Meanie and Goober, in the same place at the same time. So go to brothersgaddor.com. The Feinberg method, use promo code Goober and save up to 20% on your entire purchase. My trainer, Brad Feinberg, is ready to work with you on not just your physical, but also your mental well-being. Let's go to feinbergmethod.com. Sign up today. Shout out to the guys at the 10th Ward Barbershop on downtown Lawrenceville on the outskirts of Pittsburgh. Go and see Kane or Jordan and the rest of the team there. Tell them Goober sent you. Go schedule your appointment today at 10thwardbarbershop.com. ProWrestlingTees.com/Foundation Radio. ProWrestlingTees.com/Mind of the Meanie. Pick up a shirt and keep the lights on at Casa de Meanie and the Barnard home for wayward and troubled youth. Patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. Sign up today and become a part of the Pod Squad. Tiers starting at just $10 a month. It's a great time, and you get to come and join us and ask questions whenever you'd like to. Shout out to our sponsors today, Manscaped, and everyone else who sponsored the program as well. Meanie, I want to thank you for being a part of this program and being here each and every week. Pod Squad, we love you so much. Thank you for being here and keeping us going here for the Blue Meanie. I am Adam Barnard. Join us again each and every week as we take a trip through the mind of the Meanie. Peace.
This episode of Mind of the Meanie is hosted and executively produced by the Blue Meanie and Adam Barnard. It was mixed and engineered by Carl Pinnell. Additional narration is provided by the executive voice, Sam Krebs. Our intro music was performed by the Swamp Candles. Our outro music was performed by Chikara. Additional musical accompaniment is produced by Enrichment. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Mind of the Meanie and become our patron on Patreon by going to patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. Find our entire show archive at mindofthemeanie.com. This has been a Butts Carlton media production. Butts Carlton, proprietor.
Blue World Order.
Dad, why is Blue Meanie's brain out?